So good morning, good evening, depending on where you are.
Good
So I
morning.
hope, good morning, Dr. John. Yeah, so it's a good day. We welcome everyone to this session. So we'll be having Dr. John taking us through their experiences during the online examinations. So first I would want to introduce Daktari by just saying a few words about him. So Dr. John, as you all know, he holds a PhD in business administration in finance specialization from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. He also holds a master's degree in business administration, finance option, and a Bachelor of Commerce, that is in accounting option from the prestigious University of Nairobi. He is also a qualified public accountant and senior lecturer and the DVC of the Great Management University of Africa. So that will be your speaker of the day. So Daktari, I would want to first show your institution before we actually start. So Daktari is the DVC currently, and they have used our online examination system. So I'll just now let him show you their experience and the journey throughout the examination. Daktari, welcome.
Thank you very much, George, for the introduction. I want to welcome all the participants for this presentation on MUA experience on online examination platform, which at the moment we are working with MLIMU. They are the ones who are offering our online examination, which we have actually successfully used, and the experience was very interesting, and that is why today I'm here to share MUA experience. MUA is a private university which was founded by Kenya Institute of Management. Kenya Institute of Management is a leading tertiary college in Kenya and was established in 1954. It has always been offering courses in certificates and diploma focused mostly in management. So some time back, the institute decided to start the university, which is now the Management University of Africa. And the university has grown over time. So coming back to our experience now on the online examination platform, which is being offered by MLIMU. It takes us back to March this year, whereby the first case of COVID-19 was reported here in Kenya. Kenya actually is found in Africa, for some of us who may not be aware. So early March, we had the first case of COVID-19. That is when the country took a decision to suspend learning in all the higher institutions, in tertiary colleges, including also the universities. At that time, when the COVID struck here in Kenya, we were at the point of preparing to sit for our exams. In fact, we had completed the coursework, but all the students were sent home immediately. And as a result, they did not sit for their end of semester examination. So that is why, as a university, we had to sit back and try to find a solution, because even during the pandemic, academic work has to go on. The advantage we have as the Management University of Africa is that all along we have had online sessions, online classes. 70% of our students are actually learning online, even during the normal sessions. We have up to about 70% of our students taking our classes online. The only thing which we had not experimented on was on online examination. So as far as online facilitation, we are okay. So what we were now looking around for is a solution to offer online examination to our students. That is why, as a university, we looked at various options which we can pursue in order to offer these solutions. We look internally, the various platforms we have, but now the only challenge we had was on security features. On security features to ensure the examination are of high quality and the integrity is sound. That is why we evaluated and settled on MLIMU. And having evaluated MLIMU security features and the usability of the software, the platform we found to be sufficient for our needs. That is why internally as a university, we sought for various approvals to engage MLIMU to offer for us the platform for our online examination. We got all those approvals, and then we moved ahead now to engage all the interested stakeholders so that at least they can be able to appreciate the online system now. Starting with, first of all, engaging students. We got trials versions from MLIMU. We got also the manual on how to do examination from MLIMU, and then we shared all those with our students. We received quite a lot of reactions from the students on what they feel should be improved and whatever changes they needed, which we got back to MLIMU, and then they were able to address the various issues which were raised by students to their satisfaction. So when we shared now the final trial, just before we started this examination, then we got positive feedback from our students that now we are happy at least most of what we had raised have been taken into in the system, in the development of the system. So what I can assure you is MLIM are able to customize the system to your requirements, because they were able also to customize the system to our requirements. The next stakeholders we involved now were the university administrators, the people who are handling and assisting students during examination process. They also got good training from MLIMU, and then they were able to facilitate this examination. The other group of important stakeholders whom we brought on board are our lecturers, our faculty, because they are the ones who normally now again come and evaluate the students using the system. So there are training sessions we went through with all our faculty, and all of them were able to like the system, and they were able to use it because already we have processed our examinations, and already we have released exams. So the system is really good as far as we are concerned as a university. So the main advantage which came up about this system is on their security features, starting of course with having the lockdown browser. Secondly, then there is the issue of face recognition. And those are the features which our students rated very well. So as I move to the next section, after our examination, then what we did was to carry out a survey from our students to find out their experience about MLIMU examination platform. We already conducted a survey and we have got the feedback, and the few feedbacks which are coming here are the ones I'm going to share with you. Basically, the methodology we adopted was to use a survey monkey, and then quite a number of students gave us feedback. And these are now the issues which are coming up. On the responses on the year of study, go to the next page, please. what came out is year one students, about 33% are the ones who responded and accepted this particular platform, followed by year two, which was 26%, then year three, which is 19%, and year four, which is 20%. So first years are the ones who really liked coming back and doing this particular examination. I think they still have that momentum of wanting to sit for exams. So they really appreciated the platform and really did well as far as the concluded examinations are concerned. Then the next analysis was on the courses offered at MUA. Who were the main users? We realize our program called Bachelor of Management and Leadership is the one which was leading in this examination. Actually, this Bachelor of Management and Leadership is our flagship program, which has always been the best. And even these results still indicates most of the students who did these exams are from this particular course of the Bachelor of Management and Leadership. There are all other programs which follows with different percentages, like our Bachelor of Development Studies, contributed 10.56%. Our Bachelor of Commerce program, also 10.56% of the students who sat for those exams. Our Master of Business Administration also participated. Our Master of Development Studies also participated with that percentage shown there. Our doctoral program also participated, and all our various certificates and diplomas participated in this examination process. Let's go next. On the question about how easy it was obtaining information relating to exams, the exams timetable, the student actually up to about 86% of students found it to be easy to get details about examination using this particular platform, because 60.8% said it was easy. Then you have 26.57 saying it was moderately easy. And then of course, 11.89% said it was difficult getting information relating to examination when you are manipulating through the system. That's a small percentage. That 11.56 maybe could be attributed to people who are having difficulty in IC, in information technology, basically. And of course, as a university, we now get an opportunity to consider offering some more classes to these students, so that next time we offer the next examinations, they'll find it easy to utilize the system. Let's go to the next point. The other response was on satisfaction with scheduling of the examination, whereby we got a whopping 81.12% of our students saying it was very convenient, very easy to schedule these exams. So they really appreciated online examination to that extent. Of course, we had around 18.18% who reported that it was not very easy to schedule these exams. But let's go to the next. The next response was to check on the feelings about online exam administration procedures on the exams we have done. Let's go to the next. So we got a total of about satisfaction. Very satisfied students were 19.8%. Satisfied student on this administration procedure, we had 46.85%. So basically, when you that is like 47 plus 20%, that gives us about 67% having been satisfied with this online administration of our exams. So which is a good response again we got from our students. The small percentage of 27.27, the ones now will engage them further to find out what are these they were not satisfied with, but probably can be answered by the previous observation on being technology challenged or something like that, but we will still engage them. On the response on whether respondents' queries, issues relating to examinations were addressed, we got a total of 61.2% being satisfied, and also another 16% some are also satisfied. So when you look at 16% plus 61%, that gives us around 77% of students being satisfied that their queries were addressed. And I think the platform has got a chat room where students, wherever they are able to raise issues which they want to be addressed. And once they raise issues, there are already people who have been earmarked to attend to those particular issues which students raise from time to time. So that is why we are realizing that high number of satisfaction from the various queries or issues which the students were raising in the as we were going on with this examination. Let's go to the next. Now, this particular section indicates now the rating, the responses to the rating on the usability of the platform, which we got from students. So the first thing was, which we wanted to find out was on the training manual sent to the students and how to do online examination. Was it easy? And then we got a hoping 80% of students confirming that the training manual which was sent out on online examination was easy for them to understand. There is of course some 20% which were not in agreement, but that is expected in a normal situation because of the issue of how informed are you as far as use of technology is concerned? With the question that I had no difficulty using examination online system, that question was about 64.2% of students accepted that they had no difficulty using the examination system. They were, of course, there's still about 35% who needs to be converted. And those are the ones we will continue engaging them just to find out what are the issues they had. On the question about face match, is an easy process for verifying students to the online examination room. A whole almost 89% of students approved of the face matching. Face matching, as I said earlier on, is a very important feature in this particular platform because it is able to indicate the student who is sitting for exam is the student whom we have in our database. And since we have in our database, it is the student we know, and this is our student. So the starting point, even before this, the students are able to access this particular platform, is to do what is called face matching. And as you can see, when the responses from our students, they were very much happy that at least the integrity of examination is guaranteed because of that issue on face matching. Of course, there are other security features which are there, like frequent login details indicating is still whoever is doing exams, is it still the same student? So there are other security features even as exams progresses, which we are able to receive about is it still the same student who is doing exams at various intervals. So that was a good positive feedback we got from our students. On the issue now of combining the face matching and the launching of the lockdown browser as an important procedure to ensure examination integrity, a whole 95% of students approved that this combination of having the face match and the other combination of having the lockdown browser is the best thing as far as assurance on the integrity of examination is concerned. This particular, the lockdown browser, the way it works is that once the student downloads in his or her laptop, then whenever exam starts, it locks out all the other operations and a student cannot be able to do anything else other than that exam only. It impairs all the other applications. So that one was a positive viewpoint which students found to be very good because at least it guarantees them that there is no, it minimizes the case issue of cheating. The question that on how accessible the online examination is we find that 83% of our students actually agreed that this particular examination online platform is accessible to them. Let's go to the next point, please. Yes. So on overall rating of the system now, this is the question we asked our students. You find that go down, I think there's some more. There is about 19% plus 30%. That one is that is about 50, and then the 32 on fairness. So you find about 82% approves of this particular system up to where it is fair. And then, of course, there are a few percentages, around 15% or thereabout, who had issues. But since we have majority of 82% approving of this particular system, we are not very much worried as a university. But however, it is also good to listen to this particular minority group. What are the issues they were not satisfied about as far as this particular system is concerned? Let's go to the next, please. So in overall now, when we sit and look at the responses from the students on our online examination platform, we now come up with some few observations which we are using internally as a university, and also some of these observations we are also sharing with our provider who is MUA. The first recommendation which we are looking at is the online assistance or the support team need proper training to handle students' queries and also concerns promptly and effectively. So what we are saying here is, if you are planning to offer online examinations, it is good for your internal team to be well trained in advance so that they are able to handle the students' issues during the examination process. Your in-house team should also be able to engage with the provider frequently in order to sort out any issues which students brings up during examination process. The other feedback which came up is students found sitting for more than one exam per day to be a challenge, and also they were making a request for more time. So if you are now planning to offer online examination, you can also consider doing one exam in a day and also increasing the time, the duration of those exams. If an exam is taking, like, let's say 2 hours, you may consider to increase to 3 hours because of this issue on typing, because you can see quite a number of students who are talking about that it is slow as you type. So it is also something you can notify as you plan to roll out online examination, can notify your program teams to review the timings for various examination. The other issue was on face match process. Some students had difficulties in face matching. So here, what should happen is to sensitize students to use good camera, when they are taking their photos, they should use clear cameras which can be able to give good photos, so that during the face matching, they do not have a challenge of not being recognized. So as a university, if you have old photos of students in your files, those may not be suffice, because as time moves on, students keep or people keeps growing up, so their faces may start changing. So it is good to get clear photos to address this particular issue, so that when they run face matching, it is easily acceptable. There is an issue with students, and we are still debating. Should they go to washrooms? Because now this one, the point is, if you are sitting for 3 hours, if you go to washrooms, you know, and there's nobody escorting you like in the normal face-to-face, what happens? So there's a debate there. So which we are still looking at, because we know the call of nature can come in any time and may not allow somebody to sit continuously for 3 hours. So that is still a debate which we need to see how to address. I think the number 5 is the one which I had mentioned earlier on, increasing the duration of examination time from the normal. If it is a 3-hour examination in the normal face-to-face, then in this case you can increase to 4 hours, so that these students who are saying they are slow in typing are able to catch up. There's an issue about file attachment. There are some units which you need to attach files. Things like statistics, units like financial accounting units, economics units, which you need to draw graphs and so forth. So students need to be sensitized on how to manipulate as they upload those particular attachments when they are doing exams. And then there was a request for to expand the font size of exams. I think that one is something which can easily be done, because some students are saying they are having an eyesight issue, so they need large font sizes which can easily be addressed. So those are some of the reactions we got from our students, and those are some of the recommendations we want to make. In overall, so far we are okay with the system, and we are still we have concluded on our examination, and this system came in handy for us because students want to progress, and the way they progress is by passing one exam so that they can be able to register for the next courses, and as they do that, then they are able to not to lag behind in completion rate. So what is important now for all of us who are considering online examination, you need to have a camera, a laptop with a camera for you to do these exams. So that is one of the requirements. The second thing which is needed is a constant Wi-Fi. It's very important to have a constant Wi-Fi which can support that duration of exams. So as you prepare your students for this online, it is good for you for you to consider requesting them to have those two important components of a laptop with a camera and a constant Wi-Fi. The beauty about this particular system is that even if, and also constant power, by the way, if there is power interruption, the system automatically saves the work and submits. So student cannot lose any work which he or she had done earlier on. So as far as we are concerned, we are getting a lot of requests from our students to be facilitated with this online examination, because as we are seated here in Kenya now, it is not clear when the issue about COVID-19 will end. So most of the students have really now taken upon themselves to consider this particular platform of online examination. So this is the new normal, and anybody who has not done online examination, I want to welcome you to join us going forward. And of course, the most important thing with this COVID is very important we continue wearing our masks, like what I'm doing now, so that at least we minimize the spread of the virus. And of course, wherever you are all over the world, you follow the measures which your country has put in place as far as containment of the COVID-19 is concerned, because we still need humanity to be in existence. So we need, as a population all over the world, We need to fight this particular pandemic, and then we go back to our normal life. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Dr. John. We really appreciate. Now, there are several questions on the chat. So as Dr. John is taking a look, I will take you through the process of taking the online examination just by 2 or 5 slides. So the first thing that happens when the students log in for the examinations. So let me just let me just share. Yeah, so the first thing that happens when the students log in for the examinations is that they are able to find the login screen. So these are some of the challenges that Dr. has spoken about. So I will not be able to go through them. So like hardware, concurrent users, internet, design of the examination, he has explained them well. And then the user experience, the panic, cheating, and even the compliance issues. Now for the students, some of the steps that you need to take prior to organizing a successful exam include checking on their connectivity, looking at the timetable, and knowing how many students will be handled at the same time so that the support team is very equipped with the same. You also need to have some backup plan so that you're able to have a plan B, plan C, plan D, should anything go wrong. So you also need to upload your questions in advance so that you have them validated by the exam managers and so forth. So you also need to have live support so that the live support team will be helping the students out during the examination because they will be taking them throughout the entire journey. Then, of course, you'll need the lockdown browser and the AI feature for face recognition for you to prevent cheating, and then you will be able to have the reports as well. So this is how the students take exams. On the examination day, when they log in, all they will see is the exams. There will be the rules and regulations. For example, you could have a duration of 4 hours or 2 hours or 1 hour, the marks, then the rules and regulations that will be there. Then the first thing it will say is this exam will require you to have a face match. So click on the button when you are ready. So immediately you are ready, you can click on the match face. Then immediately a camera will be shown like this. So this is the image that is added on the database by the team. And then this will be your live picture. So as you could see, I'm in a little darker room. So all the students need to do is to click on take a picture. Then immediately it will be verified as the true picture. So this and this is true. So on the back end, you will be able to see whether it's 99%, whether it's 20%, whether it's 30%. Then the acceptable limits are the ones allowed. So if the institution says we only accept 70 and above, then that is only what will be accepted. Then once this is verified, they need to launch their lockdown browser. And then once lockdown browser is launched, everything else will be stopped and they will be able to now start their exams. So now, once they have locked it down, they will be able to view their exams and they will be able to navigate on the questions. And then towards the right, at the top right, there will always be the camera will always be on, it will be monitoring everything. And the student will always be asked to match their face wherever they, within the box of the camera. So once they do everything and they submit, the proctor or the person who will be manning the results or invigilating the exams will be able to actually see this kind of report. So you'll be able to see in this exam how many people are there, what is the frequency of capturing the images. So you'll see, you'll have like green marks and red marks and even yellow marks. So green means good, yellow means acceptable levels of what do we call it? infringement notice, then the red means there is a red alert. So if, for example, I wanted to view what is happening within this exam, I will come check in a nutshell, then I can click on details to actually see what is happening. So when I click on the details, I will be able to see what's happening. Let's say, is it multiple phases? Then it says no. Then it will say it's processed and then the time that is processed. So if I click on the red spots, then I will be able to see what is the phases that are actually shown. So for example, I will be able to see that at this point, so this is me, and then this is the source image, that is the image in the database, and then this is the image in the particular room. So as an invigilator, I can see what was happening. Then I can see, okay, this he was not maybe sitting upright. That's why he was doing that. So using this, maybe you could send a message and tell them, please sit upright. We are not able to view your face correctly, so that they know that they are being monitored, and then everything else is able to be seen. So that is the entire journey. It's a straightforward journey. And so now I just want to take it back to Dr. John to answer the questions and answers. So Dr. John, back to you.
Thank you very much, George. I think as I answered the few questions I've seen, you go through the charts. There are also quite a number of questions on the software, which you can also answer. Like somebody is asking, can it take 10,000 concurrent users? I think that is, but it has been put on under the chart. So there are quite a number of questions.
Yeah. Yes.
Having gone through the chart, which I'm seeing will need you to attend to. On the issue on standardization in online exams, our take is what we did actually is to convert our normal face-to-face exams and transfer it into the system to be done online. So as far as we are concerned, we also took an initiative to ensure that the normal security features we have in face-to-face examinations are also factored in the platform we are using. That is why we went to really evaluate the various security features which are there. And I think somehow George has mentioned about some few security features which are inbuilt into the system. Like if the system senses somebody sitting exam is now a different person from the one who started it, then that red alert comes and you are able to check specifically who is sitting that exam. If a student faces away from the camera, then an alert comes. Then you are able to check what is the student doing. Is the student looking at a question paper, or has the student moved away completely from the position where he or she was doing exams? So as far as we are concerned, we tried our best to take on board all the features which we have during our normal examination. Perhaps the only thing which we did was now to increase the timings, because we are now not doing the normal, let's say, a 2-hour exams, we increased to 3 hours. A 3-hour exams, we increased to 4 hours, just to take into account the limitation on our students on typing. Somebody was asking about how exam scheduling. What the approach we took ourselves was to have a phase-out approach, whereby we started with a certain cluster of students. Like for example, we started with the doctoral program, then we started and master's program and certificates and diploma. And those ones did their exams, they completed. Then after that, then we now came and took over the undergraduate students all to do the exams. What was the main reason really was to gain the learning experience, because when you are starting something new, you may not want to go full blast, because also as the university we were also learning. So that is why we took a phase out approach in doing these exams. But of course, on the issue of concurrent usage, George, maybe you can jump in to explain. I don't know whether you are ready, George, on the concurrent.
So Yeah, so the system can accommodate as many concurrent users as you wish. But then we always advise that the lower the numbers, the manageable the exams, because what you find out is that if, for example, you have let's say, let me use a smaller number. If you have 100 users, then what we have seen from experience is that during the examinations, let's say if that is a sitting exam, then the students will be asking questions could be 5. Then if that now translates to an online examination, the number of students who will be asking for, the questions will increase. They could be 10. So that we have seen that it happens in that way. So it means that if you have 10,000 students concurrently, the system will hold them. But then it means that you need to have a commensurate number of support team members, because for online examinations, it's slightly different. If the students are asking questions, they need a response within 5 to 10 seconds. So if you are going to delay, it's going to be past 10 seconds, then it's going to escalate, and it will be negative. It will eat on the goods of the system. Because if, for example, if the student is not able to log in the examination, let's say it's starting at 9, then it's 9, the student cannot be able to log in. When they contact the support team should be ready uh, to respond within, let's say, 3 seconds, so that they are able to feel that they are part and parcel and they are being helped in that way. So it means that if you do the mathematics, if you have 10,000 students,
Hello?
if let's say 1,000 questions are being asked at any given time, 1,000 students are asking questions saying we cannot log in, then it means you need to have more support users to be able to support them. So that is the correlation. You have 10,000 users, you need to have more support team members, so that you don't they don't overrun the support team and the examination fails. So Dr.
Thank you. There's a question which I'm seeing coming up from time to time on the challenges faced. First of all, the challenges we faced as a university during this examination process was our Kenyan character of late registration. You know, when we advertised and asked students to register for these online exams, few showed interest. So when we were working with a lower number to go for exams, just a day or so to examination time, then you get like 4 times of students now asking to be enrolled. So that is one of the challenges which we face. So any institution thinking on taking on board students for online examination, they should give at least one week before, for those who are really going to sit for those exams, to have cleared and to have sent their photos, to have downloaded the lockdown browser, to have even run the trial, so as to minimize the issues which we saw as we were doing these exams. Normally, the first 3 days, there are a lot of questions which are being asked by students. And when you look at those questions, you realize it is lack of students interacting with the system. But if we are able to give them ample time, let's say to be cleared a week before, so that by then they will have really interacted with the system, then it will minimize those challenges. The other challenge we faced was again on late submission of photos, because students they register that they are doing online examination, they have registered, but now you keep asking them for photos, and then they delay. Now when they come and start doing exam, then that is now when they start submitting photos. So that one again can be addressed by giving strict deadlines on what you need them to supply before these online exams starts. The other challenge, of course, has to do with power outages, because those are some of the issues we got from students. Somebody calling and saying, now where I am doing exam, power has gone off. So those ones, we listen to them. But of course, the system is smart. The system is intelligent. So it is able to save whatever student had done. so the student will not lose the work which he or she had done. Of course, the other challenge was students not having a web camera. Now students, or an interesting case is a student who forgot her laptop in the house, and then now went to borrow a friend's laptop to use. And unfortunately, that friend's laptop did not have a web camera. So student keeps calling and say, I was able to access the system. What is now happening now? I'm here and I'm not seeing anything. So those are some of the few challenges which we can face. But the most important thing is to train your administrators so that they are able to respond to all the issues which students bring up. The chat house which this particular software system has is a very interactive chat house, whereby wherever you are able to chat with the administrators from the provider side and also with your administrators within the university. And us as the supervisors, we are able also to view what is going on. Where in my office, I'm able to view what is going on as far as that chatting is concerned, or as far as examination progress is concerned. I think there's a question for George. Somebody is asking, does MLM have capability to integrate their examination module solution to existing LMS that a university has in place? Maybe that is for you, George.
Yeah, so the system is customizable. So yes, we can integrate through APIs with any LMS solutions that you have for the sake of data collection and importing it to the examination system.
The other question somebody has for you, George, is what is your software?
Yeah, so the software that they use is MLM online examination system. And then I can also see Mildred Gesara is asking, good morning, George. Does the lockdown browser block WhatsApp? Yes, Mildred, if the WhatsApp is the web-based WhatsApp, then it will be blocked. But then on your phone, it will not, because those are two different platforms. And then if I run through, I can see there's another question. Is it possible to see the complete environment where the student is writing the examination? So the camera will be able to view, the camera is limited, the webcam. So maybe it will not be able to, it's not like the CCTV cameras, which are always can see everywhere. So we have a box whereby we expect you to have your face. And then what we are doing now is that we are zooming in so that we are able to capture where your hands are as well. So that if you are doing something using your hands, then we are able to actually track that. Then Job Willis is asking, in face matching with actual student and attempting by another student, which will the platform catch those? So if, let's say, somebody is matching their face, and then you come do the first match, then you leave, and then another student sits for the exam. So he's asking if the platform will catch this kind of students. So Dr. do you want to answer that?
Yeah. That one, we had an interesting case whereby a student logged in, is cleared with face match, and then went and brought somebody else to sit and do exams. And we were able to intercept, because when you compare, because there's this login details, you are able to see the first student who logged in is this one, and then you are able to see now the one doing exam is somebody else. And the photos are there, so we were able to intercept, and that straight away is treated as a cheating case. So the cheating cases are able to be intercepted. We have a practical example so far we did.
Yes, then Newton is also asking, how do you deal with the slow internet connectivity and power interruption issues? So yes, Newton, so internet bandwidth is always a challenge. So what we saw them do is that for students who maybe are in the deep rural areas, they ask them to maybe move to the centers. So within the centers, you might have relatively reliable internet connectivity, and slightly better power so that if you are in the village, sometimes you can have power issues, but then if you are in the center, you may be able to have good power. And then sometimes if you can also be able to access generators if if it is exams and you need to sit on it, then you can even move to a place with generators. And then was the system tailor-made for you? Yes, we gave a ready-made system, and then with little customizations of how the Management University of Africa wanted it. Then anonymous attendee, how do you deal with network? I think that one we have answered. So if he's asking, so the second part is saying, do you allow students writing to leave and come back to continue with the exam due to network failure? So I think Dr. Ari explained that those are policy statements. So it means that it's you to make that decision. Do you want to allow them? Because sometimes, students also become innovative. They can come, log in, access the examination, then call and say, my network is gone. So what do you do in that case? Do you give them a new exam or do you give them the same exam? So that's your own decision to make. Then Florence is asking, kindly answer me as I logged in late. So Florence, maybe if I see your question, I will check. And then Theodoros is also asking, have you considered an open book examination? So maybe that one will be for you. And then what were the challenges of using fonts? Maybe that one also. So fonts, I would say fonts are, they are good for writing the SMSs. But then sometimes if you need to type, let's say an essay question, then it might be difficult in that sense. And that's why Dr. Ari also noted that the students were actually saying that they need to sit for one examination a day, because doing 2 examinations, from experience, they saw that the students were actually getting exhausted, maybe because of lack of typing, because sometimes they just type a few things, but in exams, you have to do it all once at a time. Then I think Francis is also saying, how do you eliminate the possibility of a student being aided by a person or documents behind the camera? Yeah, so you can do that obviously by activating maybe the voice. You can activate the voice, but then see the camera is just looking at your face. So behind you, it might not be possible, but we have given the AI element. It has several other features. It's able to detect your face or the eye movements, so that if you notice that I keep looking aside, then that will be given as an alert from the system. Now it will be the job of your proctor to determine whether the student is cheating or not. So they can ask them to please stop looking aside at certain intervals, and warn them that if we see that you keep doing that, then we will disqualify you for the examination. Then those kind of communications will actually deter them from cheating. Then Florence is asking, why exam questions structured? I think so, but Dr. will answer that. And then Francis says, how do you manage typing challenges for mathematical and science subjects that requires formula symbols that are not easy to type or require specialized software? So that one, I would leave it to Dr. to add, but then I would say that sometimes using the software that are the specialized software, sometimes those softwares are also a challenge. So what you find that like we were discussing with another client, so they were saying they have I think their software called LaTeX for examinations. But then the lecturers themselves were saying that that software, it's very difficult even for them to use in practice sessions. So they were saying that they do not recommend it to be used for exams. So what others do is that they let the students do what they used to do, write it on a piece of paper, then allow them to upload it onto the system. And how easy is it to invigilate a bigger class, let's say 1,000 students doing exams? Yeah, so it's very easy because you'll be having all the live details of the students, all the logs, all the images and everything. So if it is 1,000 students, you need to maybe divide it. If you can have 10 lecturers, or you can, because you see the system automatically invigilates. So the teachers will just be there to validate and to go through, so that if there is any emerging issues, then that can actually be captured. So Dr. I think I have answered some of mine. So maybe if you search some, then you can continue.
Thank you. I think there was a question on the sizes of classes. For us, all our students who were ready to sit for exams, they were able to be facilitated. If they were registered students or 30 students, they were able to be facilitated. If they were 100 students, they were able to be facilitated. Our questions actually were structured. Actually, the system has got different types of questions. So it is you as the university or as the college, you will choose which one do you want. If you want multiple choice questions, then the platform can be customized. If you want AC, then the platform can be customized. Maybe George, you can add on that because it's about the type of exams which the system can take. Maybe you can add something on that.
Yeah. So the examination design, that's what you are talking about. So the examination, we have several types of questions. You have multiple choice, you have descriptive courses, you have calculated courses, you have essays, you have insert kind of, so all kinds of question types. So what we can do is that you can upload it in bulk, or you could create it in a way, in any format that you need, that the examinations dictate. So I think that is something that is already there. Then Ruth Kasavuli is saying that George, on cheating, that's okay. However, if someone writes on a piece of paper and stands behind the camera, and the camera reads, shows the response to the student, they can cheat. Yes, Ruth, I will tell you that technology is an enabler. So certain forms of cheating obviously cannot be detected because, like last time when I went for a demonstration, one of the lecturers challenged me that if a student wrote a Mwakenya and put it on their laps, or they wrote the Mwakenya actually on their thighs, how will the system see that? So I told them the system cannot be able to see that. So we give a combination of tools. So for example, the camera is there taking snapshots and recording. There is a lockdown browser so that you don't copy paste. Then obviously you will also have your anti-plagiarism tools that you could use afterwards during the marking and grading. And then you also, in the examination design, you can decide to make questions which are applicable questions, like some form of open book questions, whereby even if you ask the student a question and you give them opportunity to cheat, they will actually not cheat. Nobody will come with something and show it like they do at the airport so that you read. So if you give all this combination of things, then the system will enable you offer a credible examination. So I would just say that is what we guarantee, that a combination of all will give something that is credible.
Thank you.
But it
I
is
think the
not.
important,
Yes, Dr.
thank you, George. I think the important thing there is the type of questions, as you
Yes.
have pointed clearly. Using this platform, we go mostly for application questions.
Yes.
So that it is more to test what you understand, not the direct questions which somebody can Google and get the answer. I don't know whether you answered somebody here asking about sciences subjects which require formulas and symbols. Maybe you can
Yes.
explain to briefly on the option of uploading, so that
Yes.
that one can assist there.
Yeah, so like Dr. is saying, if you have calculation questions or statistics, what all you can do is you can let them do it on a piece of paper, just like they normally do. And then that they can take an image using the phone, and then they can be able to upload it into the system for marking. So Dr. I think we have several other questions. Maybe we can answer them on email, then share with everybody else. So I think that would be better. So we'll give all the answers and share with everybody. So maybe Dr. if you could have the last word, then we can close.
Yeah, thank you very much, George. I think as you have said, there are very many questions we may not have answered now. We'll go through them and give appropriate responses. I think we have your contacts, your email addresses, so we'll be able to get back to you. The only thing is that this is the way to go now. We need to, life has to go on, so we need to embrace this online examination, because even as at now, we don't know when normalcy will come back into the world, and especially when normalcy will come back in our country, so that we can have our face-to-face examination. Thank you very much, George.
Thank you very much. So one more announcement for the participants. We will be sending you a digital attendance participation certificate via email. So once again, we appreciate you for your time. Thank you very much, and continue supporting us. Thank you. Have a good day.